available because she's so
Jadi ini hari
mobile.
kedua ya
That
kita
I think is
dimana kali ini tim
the most
Indonesia akan melawan
important
dari
one
tim
to
Argentina.
highlight here. The most important thing to highlight when you're talking about Joy, because it doesn't really matter how tanky you are. If you're able to dodge everything with those dashes that reset, and if you're able to play with the rhythm properly, that passive, it's almost like it's
pasti dibantai lah.
100% win.
Indonesia pasti
guaranteed.
dibantai
I
ke
mean,
Bali.
you also have a lot of crowd control immunity,
Tapi
and
kalau
if you take a vengeance
Mobile
like
Legends belum
Deja did
tentu
in the
kayaknya.
first match, that just allows you to take even more damage.
Belum
And with
tentu
the nature of
dihajar ya.
the hero, we can see
Nah,
that the
lihat ya.
sustain is completely
Yang
absurd.
di-ban
I mean, I was yapping all about it after the first match. Now let's get straight with it. 1-1 and he ran away. Indonesia wanted to ensure that there won't be any kite back shenanigans from Argentina. And Argentina wanted to make sure that they don't get slowed down, because that is what Indonesia needs to get their hands onto the Argentinian members.
Argentina so far in their match up against Slovenia, we've only seen them play early game compositions, right? We haven't seen them get taken to that later stage, like you mentioned. So maybe this might be it for Indonesia. They might actually want to prolong the game. Played a bit passively here up against Argentina,
lihat seperti apa ya?
is
Karena selama ini
definitely a threat
yang
now
kita lihat kan
for
paling
everyone. They are, I believe, the dark horses
Mobile
here.
Legends dari
None of the teams in the upper
Filipina,
brackets and
terus
even in the lower brackets
Myanmar,
currently can be overlooked. So we are going to see the final ban from Team
Nih, sekarang kita
Indonesia.
lihat
1-1
sih
Joy,
mainnya
but Leomord, Martis,
Argentina
both
kalau
still
main
up for
Mobile
grabs.
Legends.
And I think it should be amongst those two, maybe even the Valentina if they want to just throw it out there. But it's actually going to be the Diggy here
Indonesia
that's banned out by
ban dikit,
Indonesia.
The Kaja is still available for both teams to pick up
Apa
as
yang
well.
akan di-pick oleh
It all hinge
Argentina
on the
first picknya.
the last ban from Argentina and the first pick, because it seems like there's a lot of very good heroes available, and I think that in a way gives Indonesia a bit of an advantage. So now what they ban will for sure decide what they pick up as well. Are they going to go for the obnoxious early game to enable the rotations and the gameplay, or are they going to go
First
for
picknya
something a bit
Atlas,
more
guys.
aggressive, and it's going to be
Dia
an
ngamanin
Atlas first
tanknya
pick?
dulu sih, romernya dulu.
Whoa.
It does seem like Argentina have missed their third ban. I'm looking at it right now. Only 2 bans from Team Argentina, so we'll get this sorted out. I don't
Ini
know if
sudah
this is a
masuk upper
mistake,
bracket guys ya.
but we
Setelah
will give you
kemarin
information right as we get it.
Indonesianya
Diggy was the final ban for
ngalahin
Team Indonesia right now, as we
Filipinanya ya.
are going to see the second
Di luar
pick come
dugaan
off, or
sih.
the first pick
Indonesianya
from
lagi
Indonesia on that red
up banget
side.
kemarin.
With the Atlas
Jadi
pick,
di sini masuk ke upper
Indonesia can just
bracket.
safely pick up the Akai. We know that the Akai has just been a solid counter towards these Atlas compositions. It can also be flexed over to the XP lane in the jungle. But another hero that's
Yang
open, a
takutin, guys.
signature pick for Tazz,
Tasnya
the
Fanny
Fanny,
ini nggak
and
ada
Dreams,
OP
who was
guys ya.
able to really pop off on the
Sama
Kaja.
kemarin
He
kalau
gets a
kita
comfort
lihat
pick as well.
dari
2 comfort
kacanya
picks for
Dreams
the Indonesian side.
bagus
And we have to
banget
talk
sih
about Tazz on that Fanny.
man.
This man
si
is
pemainnya
an
Filipina
absolute
kemarin.
menace. Mechanical skills for days on this Fanny pick. And we've seen a lot of teams respect Bennett against Indonesia. So we'll see if this will come to haunt Argentina later on. They go for that
Wah,
Fredrin,
intinya
solid front line,
Fredrin.
solid crowd control, and quite
Nggak
the
tahu ya,
dominant,
kita
sustainable
bakal lihat
lane in
Fredrin
the off lane.
jungler atau
So
enggak
already
ya.
a difference in
Karena
priorities
kita juga
for
nggak
both
tahu
these
sih
teams, but
mainnya
you can see
Argentina
that
itu
the
kayak
roamer,
gimana kalau
the roamer
di
pick
Mobile
is
Legends
so
guys.
important. It sets the
Kalau
tone for the
disuruh
early
bolak
game,
pasti
and it's the main tool you rely on
jago
when you need
banget
to
kan
get
ya.
information,
Ya ada
when you need to catch
Messi,
people off guard. And
terus
as we talk about
ada
utility,
Angel de Maria,
Aramis pops up.
pasti
Man,
dapat lah guys daripada
this is a team fight
Indonesia ya kan.
composition that we have seen
Tapi
yesterday as
kalau
well from
Mobile
Argentina.
Legends
We
guys
saw
belum
that
tentu.
when
Guys,
Erwin
kita
gets his
lihat
hands
aja
on the
guys.
Atlas, those flashing
Mana
plays
apakah
do come through.
si
With the addition of the
Argentina ini
Thermos
kalau
to
main
provide
Mobile Legends
utility with
sama
that
kayak
call
sepak
alter and a
bolanya
bit
ya
more
guys ya.
sustainability to the team, it's pretty solid. The thing is, though, you got to take a look at Indonesia's composition here with the Fanny that kind of nullifies that clumped up style of play that Argentina are looking to go for. Indonesia can definitely now look for
Mid lane-nya
more
diisi
pick-off
Paramis
heroes,
Argentinanya.
more stronger laners in general to find the winning lane and to maybe snowball from the get-go. We mentioned late game. Maybe Indonesia wants to go for that, but
Cloud-nya
so
masih
far in their
open
draft,
sih,
it
Patrick.
feels completely early game. We want to get it rolling from the start. And with the Beatrix pick here, that's another hero
Beatrix.
with a lot of
Oke,
AoE
Beatrix-nya
damage
pas
that can
juga
really
bagus.
nullify this cult altar.
Aside from just the AoE damage, you have to talk about the wave clear. Right now, Kaja, Fanny, Beatrix, that's a lot of wave clear for Argentina to contend with. And we talked about it again and again, as always. But when you want to have good macro game, you need to have good wave clear to establish your lane dominance, your lane pressure.
Apalagi ya,
Otherwise,
si
you are stuck watching for those winning waves,
Indonesianya ya,
and you cannot rotate
mid
as
lane-nya ya.
efficiently. For Argentina, Faramits and Fredrin, they're okay, but I don't think so far their composition can even compare to the amount of wave clear that Indonesia has. And I think that is going to be completely abused unless Argentina picks something up for themselves.
Well, we'll have to see how it plays
Ben
out,
Hayab
Rashi, as
bisa.
we are going to see the Hayabusa
Oh,
get banned out.
Argentinanya
For
respect sama
Indonesia here, they
Izonya
actually opted
Saikot
to
ya
go
guys.
for that,
Kayaknya
knowing
dia
that
lihat sih
yesterday
kemarin
Johnson
sih
was able to have such an amazing
mainnya si
performance,
Saikot
juking
yang
Team
pakai Yuzong.
Slovenia out
2
with
match
that
kan pakai
Hayabusa
Yuzong dia
on
kan.
that quad shadow. But now it's a respect ban towards Saikot, who is also
Dari di
a
respect
menace
ban
on that
guys sama
Yuzong.
Argentinanya.
Good respect bans coming in from Argentina and Indonesia in the second phase, and you can kind of expect Indonesia now to start narrowing down the jungle. Just keep going down, or maybe just try to
Masih
take
belum tahu
away
ya
the heroes that
junglernya
can
untuk
lock the Fanny down.
si
Because
Argentinanya
right
ini
now,
pakai
what
apa
Argentina are
belum tahu
lacking
ya.
is that single target lockdown that can really stop the Fanny.
And if you look at the options available, not really much. I mean, the Franco could be an option, but Argentina have way too many heroes that would actually make it to the roamer position. And now Brody has also been banned by Indonesia. That's some good crowd control. Usually another option we see is the Moskov, I was about to say,
Brody-nya di
with a
ban,
knockback with the stun as well and the mobility.
Buat ngonter
All
si
solid
Patricknya
choices
sih.
unless Indonesia can come up with something to deter that completely. Although Argentina will ban away that Benedetta as well.
We haven't seen a whole lot of the Paquito here, but it is Saikot's comfort hero back when he was in the MDL. In the MPL, it was banned from him completely. But here he does have a chance to actually pick that up. Go for the Paquito in the XP lane. And for the mid lane, Hijume usually
Mid
likes to
lane
go
sih,
for
mid
just
lane-nya
the
sama
Lilias, the Eves, that right now
XP-nya
has been
pakai apa
banned
nih?
out. So the option
Di-
for
di
Hijume is most
tim
probably
Indonesia ini.
the Lilia, the Farsa.
Lilia makes sense,
Farsa
a bit more
bisa sih,
survivability,
Lilia
a
juga
lot of
bisa.
AoE damage in the big fights. Just
Lilia,
as we
guys.
say that, it does get locked in. And now for Argentina, what could it be, man? They need some DPS for sure. And this is the problem. When you're in the current meta, anything can be played in the jungle almost. It can be a utility tank, it can be marksman-ish, it can be assassin-orientated. And considering that they're against Fanny, I think a fighter makes sense. But then they'll be very, very locked in into a front-to-back situation. And Indonesia, the flanks we saw from Saikots have been very, very dangerous. So they go for
ternyata
the
junglernya
Karina,
pakai
can be used
Karina
as a
nih,
tank
Sip.
as well. And they have that Melissa
Tuh,
to
Kurtlinnya
deter
dipakai
all these dive
Melissa.
potential.
There you go.
Bagus sih.
That's the answer we were waiting for, right? Up against a team
Bisa
like Indonesia
nyicil-nyicil
with
kan
the
areanya
Fanny,
dari
with someone that can
bonekanya
just
si
dive into that
Melissa
back
ini.
line. You need someone to be able to cover. And looking at Team Argentina's composition before they picked the Melissa, wait a minute.
Tinggal XP lane-nya
Brands
sih.
is
XP
hovering
lane-nya
over
akan
Roger
pakai apa ya?
Grr, yeah, absolutely. But
Akan
we'll see.
karakter.
Arashi,
No way.
is this going to be, are they trying to pull off the double retribution strat?
I'll have to say that so many teams have been doing this to the casters. Can you please stop? This is not okay, man. You're giving us a lot of false hope here. And I don't
Yeah.
think
Ah,
it's gonna
Lapu-Lapu.
be that
Mantap
Roger.
sih.
Unfortunately, they are hovering on the Lapu-Lapu. Yet another dive hero, a good engage and crowd control. More than anything, crowd control has been so critical in ensuring that your team gets that slight edge, especially when both
Di
teams are
Saikotnya pakai
positioning, are
Lapu-Lapu ya.
maneuvering so
Lihat
well
main
in that mid to late game.
Lapu-Lapunya si
Zace, he
Saikot
just loves it,
gimana.
man. He loves playing with the casters there, with
Ini
the
sih bakal
hover
ngeri
over the
sih
Roger.
si
Come on, Zace.
tasnya
Give us
pegang
hope. Pick it up,
Fanny
man.
kan.
Come on, man. Maybe
Pick
next
it.
time we'll see it.
Do
but
it!
maybe they're saving it for later. But here, up against Argentina with Karina, picked up by Jotun and Civ. I do want to finish what I started earlier, that statement. With the Melissa's go away, that provides easy cover. And she can be quite independent in that gold lane, where usually, again, Team Argentina can play and look towards that XP lane to get that winning lane.
Exactly. I think we need to figure out, or both teams need to figure out which lane are they attempting to actually get ahead. Because if it's the gold lane,
Kita lihat
cool,
di
you have a solid
pertandingannya
mid game and
seperti
you have
apa
solid
ini
advantage in late
Argentina
game.
ya.
But if you leave that EXP lane
Pada
untouched,
penasaran
the
kan
macro
mainnya
game, the wave
gimana
gameplay, the
si
fun
Argentina
and
ini main
four split push strategy
Mobile
can be
Legends kan.
utilized to its utmost potential. And with Psychots, for example, in the XP lane, going up against
guys
Top
mainnya.
Dog as well, that is something that you do not want happening.
Welcome to the land of Dawn, ladies and gentlemen. Team Indonesia Here with Tazz starting on the purple buff and Jotun on that Karina on the orange buff. Let's see here, Tazz. One question I do have currently is what emblem
pakai emblem high and dry ya guys, bukan jungle ya.
The high and dry, and now you can already see that it's gonna be the mystery shop as well from Karina. As Erwin is gonna get bursted down by the damage from the Fanny early on.
Masih level 2 loh,
That is a
gila.
lot of damage. That is what the high and dry is gonna bring to the table. Tazz is gonna be very aggressively moving around, going for those 1v1s. And unless Argentina has solid control in the lanes, then they can actually, that's how they need to play to get the opportunities to shut down, to collapse onto Tazz, who is going over aggressive.
Here though, Jotun is gonna have a bit of a rougher time in his jungle as Tazz was able to pick up that kill. It is going to be a 1-kill lead early on so far, but that's something that can really get the snowball going for Team Indonesia right now. As Streams just gets out that perfect match. Jotun still is able to get level 4 a bit faster than Tazz though, even after suffering that invade early on.
There's a watch that there's no real counter to the engage coming in from Erwin with the flicker Fatal Links combo. No purifies, for example, but we'll have to see. Does Indonesia have a strategy in mind? A counter, maybe through maneuvering, through positioning. We have to see later in the mid game. But for now, the Atlas cannot be as aggressive when it comes to these skirmishes. So we'll have to wait until about level 4. Now with the first turtle spawning, you can see action building up near that top side.
Both teams are playing it a bit passive here early on. Wait a minute, a solo kill in the gold lane by Brand, the Indonesian king of marksmen there, as he is able to actually win out up against the damage. Tazz out of nowhere with Dreams, finds Divine Judgment. Now Tazz is going mad with the cables, and that's going to be Hijume who picks up a double kill. Papa Dog caught in his own jungle. Psychots just does some damage, puts him back and forces him to recall. 2 minutes in, and it's Indonesia who has a pretty solid lead.
Just like that, 2 kills on the table. That is how fast. That is the X factor we talk about whenever Indonesia is being mentioned. Out of nowhere, these plays will just keep happening, so Argentina need to be on their toes. The composition of Indonesia is all about that pickup, so they cannot leave their member alone. I think we saw Meteoro use the call alter, but it was just a bit too late, unfortunately, and that cannot happen again, because that is one of the core ways they have to counter Indonesia right now.
3 minutes in, that's a turtle secured for free by Indonesia. Psychots in that XP lane as well, getting a pretty substantial lead with Brands doing the same. So far, all 3 lanes are controlled by Indonesia. And this is a good read as well. Brands knows something is up, knows that Erwin has been missing on the map for quite a long time, so he plays it safe. Meanwhile, Indonesia, Dreams and Hijume, they don't decide to rotate. They decide to just keep that pressure in the mid lane to, again, relieve some of that pressure from the other lanes. I'm just waiting for the time where Tazz will start exploding out of nowhere, because right now it's a ticking time bomb, man. He is farming up. Once he feels that he has the necessary items, he's about to go absolutely wild. And as you say that, oh my goodness, Tazz does so much damage. Hijume pops that black ships to run away from Erwin's possible engage here. Psychots tries to make his way into that mid lane, just again opening up the map for the rest of his teammates. And that damage is absolutely absurd, man. Meteoro just disappeared. They're trying to do it onto Erwin right now with Divine Judgment, but Erwin lost that perfect match. Very well timed to get out of Divine Judgment. Tazz on the Fanny right now, an absolute menace. And I don't think anyone from Argentina can deal with him 1v1. They need to find a way, a team fight, force him into these situations where the high and dry won't really have a lot of impact. He won't be able to actually get those solo kills, but it's easier said than done. As we say that, oh man, he used the Shadow Stampede, the Cold Alter HP is gone just like that, but Meteoro has the flicker. You can see the kill pressure already from Tazz on the Fanny. That's why it's a signature pick, and that's why usually we see it banned out. The Called Alter, man, we talked about how it's only very situationally good against teams with limited amounts of damage, maybe big burst damage, so that the second life can be preserved for, you know, for your team to actually have more impact. But when
harusnya sih turtle-nya free untuk Indonesia ya guys ya. Nah karenanya di bawah
Atlas
Gratis sih
gameplay for
harusnya
Erwin
sih
here today as
untuk
Meteoro is going to be chunked low. Goes up
kartalnya
down
kan.
Stampede, Dreams gets targeted down, but it's
Nah,
only
ini.
the
Aduh,
Roamer. A shutdown
gimmick-nya
as Jotun puts Argentina on the board, but it's Tazz who picks up a trade up top.
kan
Tazz
gratis
now
kan
going on to Papa
kartalnya.
Dog with a cutthroat as well.
Hmm.
The flicker
Ih,
ready to save
flicker
Papa
ya
Dog,
dia, guys.
but it's still a solid trade, 1-for-1 right now.
It's unfortunate Hijumi was the one who actually fell in the engagement. He is the one with 3 kills right there. So it's not ideal. I think he chased a bit too much. But of course, we see again the damage potential coming in from Indonesia. A lot of poke damage. And if you get too low, Tazz does not waste any time at all securing that kill, taking you out of the Land of Dawn.
Now it just goes to the discipline game, right? They already have a
Kita
pretty
nunggu
good
aja
lead,
nih.
3,000 gold. That's going to be building again. Tazz looking for that play, jumps in just to bait out that cult ultra, and
Oke,
now
juga
it's gone.
mukul
Meteoro
towernya,
has
guys.
nowhere to go.
Mati, guys.
Bro,
A brilliant
Promise
decision by Tazz as well. He didn't get turret aggro, so he just played around the minions. Forced
Gila sih
Meteoro
dia
to pop that
sekali
cult
ambil
ultra.
buff biru,
It's
majuin
it's
enak
pretty-
banget.
pretty impressive.
Karena kan
Very impressive.
si
And
Faramisnya
it's
kan
just too
agak
fast. If you wait
empuk kan.
for the right moment, you might get taken out before
Aramis,
using it, but the Fatal Links has
tuh
been using it. though.
Melisa tuh
Only to
empuk dah.
Dreams right now, who is
Aduh,
the
bisa
roamer,
mati
can
nih,
soak
guys.
in a whole lot of
Kasihnya.
damage, and now it comes down to Tazz, who's able to rotate down
Kayak
low.
dramatis sih
Jotun
karenanya.
finds a pick, Brands gets taken down. It's going to be a
Brannya juga mati.
2v1 situation. A 2-for-1 trade as well, but it is going to be
Dapat
equalized
mid
in
sih.
that mid
Terusnya
lane.
sih
Psychots,
menguntungkan.
ooh, flickers forward, gets the double kill, and makes it a 3-for-2.
Gila.
That
Saya
axe
ikut dari
accuracy
kemarin
coming in from
lagi
Psychots.
up-upnya
A
guys.
3-for-2, not ideal, but I guess at this point, Argentina need to get themselves on
Si
the board
Price-nya
right
udah
here.
dapat
If they
BOT,
play a bit too safe, they're just waiting
Melisanya baru
for the members of
install
Indonesia to
Price.
set up for the next play. And as we can see,
jadi
it can come
Fury.
just like that. Divine Judgments, bravest fighters, and of course, Tazz just slice and dice him all the way through in the back line.
The damage, look at that. He went for 2 items early on. It's going to be the Heptaseas and also the Melphic Roar. So
Nah, ini
he
nih.
knows that
Nah,
Argentina
ini
are going to
ambil
start
buff
to
biru.
pile up on that physical
Kuat
defense.
pasti deh
Going for just
hilang tuh
physical
Argentina
penetration
tuh.
as early
Lihat
as
aja
7
guys,
minutes
habis
in
ini
the
guys.
game will basically mean
Ya
he'll
set up
deal
ke
true
turtle-nya.
damage.
Not to mention, he
Argentina.
is up against essentially
Kayaknya
3
bakal
heroes and
gratis
Goat tank, so
juga
it's a very
nih.
smart
Ini
adjustment
ya
decision in
turtle-nya
the item builds.
kan
And
nggak
now
ada
with that
kontes nih.
lead, Indonesia is just
Buff
pressuring
birunya yang
away
di-
the members of Argentina from this turtle.
Aduh,
They're still able to
sama
secure the
Indonesia
triple
guys ya.
buff, but right now, full control for Indonesia, unless Argentina does
Nah,
something
beda satu
unexpected.
level nih
Erwin
sama
with that flicker, we've seen him make the
junglernya
plays happen, but can
Argentina
he
nih.
replicate the same success?
2 ultimates burnt out by Tazz.
What?
Go away. Cult Alter, 2 very crucial ultimates
Udah
when it
nggak ada
comes down to the
ulti si
team fights.
Faramisnya.
And just like that, the engage potential that Argentina had, the pick potential with Erwin, it disappears because of the counter engage that Indonesia can constantly threaten with. Dreams jumps in, finds the
Gila,
Divine
sistem
Judgment
sulit gitu,
onto
guys.
Meteoro, knowing he does not have that Cult Alter. And Brands picks him up
Mantap,
like it's
guys,
nothing.
guys.
Dreams now opening up the map, going to be targeted down. Dreams going to be taken down by Argentina.
Nggak
A 1-for-1,
mundur
but it is
cuma
the
mati tuh.
mid laner taken down
Transnya.
for the roamer.
Look at the mid lane though, the wave management coming in from the
Mulai ke
Indonesians. We've talked
bawah,
about this
si
since
Fanny
the drafting
sama
phase, and Argentina is absolutely
ininya.
feeling it. Even when they get a kill, it
gila.
doesn't look like
Tuh,
they're
guys,
getting any
lihat,
control.
guys.
And look at the aggression.
Mati tuh.
Papa Dog
Hmm.
dove
Ah.
under the tier 1.
Gimmicknya si
Tazz
Lilia
styling and
ngotak
Hijime
udahan.
picks up the kill. Papa Dog 0-1 currently. Again, he tried his best early on. He went even in lane against Psychots, but because Tazz has had such a good time around the map, just getting kills and getting the snowball rolling, he can start to melt these tanks down.
12
Psychots
untuk
up top waiting in the
Tazz-nya.
bush, jumps in with the bravest spider, forces
Si
the go
Karenanya
away
masih
before the fight
11.
even starts. Erwin is forced to use the
mati
match now as Psychots
si
gets properly
Psychotnya
based
sih,
enough of
mati
the
kan.
resources out. One frontliner for another. Erwin for Psychots as
Tazz.
Indonesia looks for the re-engage. And Tazz is a monster. Jumps in like it's nothing, jumps out like it's nothing.
How is he able to maneuver like in curves on a Fanny? Usually we see linear
Straight
movement
lines, yeah.
with the cables, but this man, he is
Langsung
drifting right now.
hilang si Melisanya.
It does feel like he's drifting, you know, he's playing those cables in a way where it looks like he is actually going around the walls. But this is the
Bakal
signature pick. This is
gratis
the
lah,
reason
guys,
we usually never
Lordnya
see
kan.
it get left open.
This man
Lagi-lagi
was a
si
mid laner,
Argentinanya
so now
minta
in the jungle position, this man is
yang
just flexing
awal ya.
all this mechanical skills, the killer instinct as well. And when he is that accurate with the cables, how can you like play as a backline for Argentina, but Papadog is the one being targeted?
Melted down instantly here by Psychons and Brands. Erwin tried his best to pop that conceal and the perfect match to reach towards his teammate, but Papadog just gets bursted down too fast. Because, again, of the items, even Brands with the Hunger Strike in the Melfic Roar, with the BOD completed so early on, man, he can actually just burst that whole team. Yeah, right as I say it, on cue, Brands pops that Renner, gets Meteoro to a quarter of his HP, swaps to the Bennett and clears out the wave easily with the BOD completed. Now, I need to ask you a question, Arashi. Argentina, how do they come back in the game, if it's even still possible?
They need to get a shot down somehow, some way, man. I mean, they have some tools to get a catch, but they need to make the proactive movement. They can't wait for Indonesia to go in like this.
Well, the Cold Ultra's there. Erwin gets baited in by Tazz with the cables. Meteoro falls as well as that Psychons who finds the double. Brands completing the Haas clause will mean that he will no longer need to recall. He just hit a few minions, go for a few creeps in the jungle, and get back to full HP. Jotun trying his best to look for a play. Tazz and Brands with that combo. The snipe from the purple buff and Tazz with the cables, and Psychons jumps in once again onto the Bravest Fighter. But it is going to be the go-away pop as well by Argentina. Meteoro backing off. Call Ultra already used. 11 minutes in and 2 base turrets have fallen.
See the discipline coming in from the Indonesians, having so much momentum and yet so patient. Snipe does not connect from Brands. But like I said, now with the Cold Ultra, when do you pop it? Is it when Tazz comes flying in? Is it when Brands is charging up the Snipe because he can one-shot you as well? It's such a tough situation, especially when all the responsibility is on you to keep your teams alive. Meteoro with a Cold Ultra, and we can see that Erwin, he is definitely feeling the pressure. He needs to make a play, but if he tries too hard, if he forces it, this is what will happen. Indonesia can absolutely take over.
12 minutes in, this is... So far today, we have seen longer games than yesterday, right? I think the longest game we saw yesterday was 11 minutes, and today we saw a game go all the way. Dreams, though, looking for the pick, finds it like it's nothing, but it's going to be the Cold Ultra, which is placed down. Tazz looking for the plays, waiting for the Cold Ultra HP to be shrink down, to be melted down as he goes in for re-engage. Getting the base turret, getting back as well, baiting a whole lot of resources for Brands to free hit on that back line. Two members falling for Argentina. Meteoro and Civ, the two damage dealers are still up. But the snipes connects onto Civ. And that will mean Civ will have to recall. Tazz finally rejoining his team, jumps in onto Jotun, goes in for the cut though, finds Meteoro, and he's looking for a double kill, looking for a triple kill onto Civ now. He does get it in the end, a triple kill for Tazz up against Argentina in a dominant game 1.
Dominant for sure. This is why the Fanny has been so prioritized. It is disgusting. What is that damage, my guy?